In a shocking revelation that sent shockwaves through conservative circles and faith-based communities alike, Candace Owens has gone public with explosive claims against Erika Kirk, the widow of political figure Charlie Kirk. According to Candace, Erika didn't just grieve Charlie in silence, she allegedly forced his parents out of their own son's home, just days after his sudden and mysterious disappearance. Owens insists this wasn't an act of grief, but one of deliberate control, raising chilling questions about what Erika may have been trying to hide. Fans are stunned. How could the woman who once built her platform on faith, family, and devotion turn her back on the very people who raised the man she claimed to love? As Candace begins dropping receipts, voice notes, and journal entries, the internet is spiraling into a frenzy. Did Erika betray Charlie's parents, or was this all just a misunderstood act of protection? Number Erika Kirk, number Candace Owens, number Charlie Kirk, number family fallout, number MEXIT. It all started with a single sentence, a moment buried deep in a late-night episode of Candace Owens' podcast, The Real Truth, where she dropped a line so loaded, it detonated across every corner of the internet. Oh, you didn't know? Erika Kirk didn't just cut Charlie's parents out emotionally. She had them legally removed from the home, kicked out, days after he disappeared. Within seconds, reaction clips flooded TikTok, podcasts paused, Twitter ignited like a wildfire. Erika Kirk, once the picture-perfect Christian widow holding her daughter tight and quoting scripture through tearful devotionals, was suddenly under fire like never before. For many, Erika's online persona had always been comforting, a grieving wife staying strong in her faith, building devotionals while navigating tragedy. But for others, especially those who'd followed Charlie's conservative career, something had always felt off. Candace's statement cracked the surface wide open, and what poured out looked nothing like healing. In less than 24 hours, the phrase, "she kicked out the Kirks," began trending across platforms. It wasn't just clickbait, it was a viral reckoning. Candace returned the next morning with screenshots from a church contact close to Charlie's parents, Lorraine and David Kirk. The messages were harrowing. Lorraine brought Charlie's Bible to Erika for their granddaughter. Erika refused to let her in, said they were disturbing her daughter's energy. David cried on the front porch asking to hold his granddaughter. Erika called her security team. These weren't just stories, they were receipts, and the public reaction was swift. This isn't grief, this is warfare. Charlie's own parents were exiled. Why? A faith-based influencer doesn't do this to family. Erika, who once spoke of honoring legacy, was now accused of erasing it, starting with Charlie's parents. Fans began investigating. Within hours, TikTok sleuths dug up a deleted post from Erika's Instagram stories, just days after Charlie went silent. A minimalist black screen with the words, "Sometimes, the devil dresses in family." People were floored. Was she talking about Charlie's parents? She was already spinning the narrative. This was strategic grieving. Comment sections exploded, kicked them out, then posted scriptures like it was therapy. She made trauma content. Charlie deserved better. Candace didn't hold back. In a follow-up podcast, she doubled down. This wasn't a misunderstanding. This was a strategy. Erika didn't need privacy, she needed control. And the first people she silenced were the ones who knew the real story. Then she dropped the bombshell. A scanned copy of what appeared to be a temporary restraining order, filed by Erika, barring Lorraine and David Kirk from entering their son's home. The reason? Emotional disruption and toxic interference. The date? 4 days after Charlie's disappearance. By now, thousands had formed a digital army demanding justice for the Kirks. Candace labeled the situation for what she believed it was. This is influencer-fueled isolation. She cut out the parents, locked the door, and replaced real grief with performative pain. The backlash hit hard. Erika's comment sections were flooded. "You don't own his legacy. You staged grief while shutting out his blood. We believed in you. We mourned with you. Were you ever real?" Podcast clips resurfaced. Screenshots emerged. Timeline comparisons went viral. Erika posted a video titled, "When God Calls You to Walk Alone," just 3 days after Charlie vanished. Her devotional, "When the Lord Is All You Have," dropped 6 days later. A fan revealed that Erika had purchased the domain widowedinfaith.com 2 weeks before Charlie's last public appearance. She didn't grieve. She launched. One viral comment read, "Joe Rogan, who had remained quiet through the controversy, finally spoke out on his show. If even half of what Candace is saying is true, then Erika turned grief into a business. I mean, Charlie's parents show up to be with their granddaughter, and she kicks them out? That's not just sad, it's suspicious. Other influencers chimed in. Some defended Erika, urging grace. But the overwhelming tide had turned. The term, trauma marketing, trended for the first time, with Erika's face splashed across commentary thumbnails, TikTok reactions, and think pieces. Then came the most painful moment yet. Erika Kirk, Charlie's mother, broke her silence in a quiet blog post for a small Christian outlet. The quote went instantly viral. "All I wanted was to sit in the living room where my son grew up." Erika said I was disrupting her daughter's healing space. "I brought Charlie's baby blanket. She gave me a cease and desist." That line alone sent chills across the internet. She called it healing. We now know it was control. She removed the people who actually knew him and replaced them with followers. Grief shouldn't require a restraining order. Hashtags exploded again. Number Charlie deserved better. Number Erika kicked them out. Number justice for the Kirks. Number spiritual manipulation. Number this ain't faith. Number Candace spilled. Erika's silence became deafening. Her team issued a vague press statement. Mrs. Kirk is navigating this season with grace, prioritizing peace and protection for her daughter. She asks the public for space during this sensitive time. But the internet wasn't buying it. "You posted your pain. You don't get to mute our reaction. Your daughter doesn't need protection from her grandparents. She needs protection from branding. You asked for privacy but sold the process." By the end of the week, thousands had unfollowed. Devotionals were returned. Church communities rescinded speaking invites. And Candace? She ended her third episode with one sentence that left everyone waiting. "You think this is about a door Erika shut? No. This is about what she was hiding behind it." Just when it felt like things couldn't get any messier, Candace Owens dropped what she called the only voice that matters. This time, it wasn't an accusation, an opinion, or a reaction. It was Charlie Kirk's own voice. In a new podcast episode titled Check the Attic, Candace opened with a somber tone. "This is not speculation. This is not commentary. This is Charlie, his words, his fears, and his plan." Before Erika could spin the narrative, he documented the truth. And now, we all hear it. Then she pressed play on a chilling voicemail left by Charlie for his mother, Erika Kirk, just days before he vanished. The voicemail that broke the internet. Charlie's voice, weary and cautious, came through the static. "Hey Mom. I know it's late. Erika's filming everything now. Even the arguments. She says it's all part of the journey. But it feels like, I don't know, content. Not healing." He paused, then quietly added, "I left journals in the attic. The red one has dates. The blue one has plans. If anything happens to me, check the attic. Protect my daughter. Don't let Erika make her a sermon." Candace stopped the recording. Her voice cracked slightly. He knew. Within minutes of the episode airing, number "check the attic" was the #1 trending phrase across X, TikTok, and YouTube. He wasn't just scared, he was documenting it. That voicemail proves Erika wasn't reacting to tragedy. She was curating it. This just turned into a documentary. And then came the pictures. Lorraine and David Kirk released images from Charlie's attic. Among the dust-covered boxes and Christmas decorations were 2 leather-bound journals, one red, one blue, a memory box labeled 4L, presumably his daughter, a flash drive with a handwritten label, Truth. The internet stopped. Erika's polished sermons, smiling devotionals, and curated prayer videos suddenly paled in comparison to Charlie's raw, handwritten legacy. Candace read select passages from the journals live on air. Excerpts from Charlie's journal. February 14. She cried during prayer. Not for healing, but because the video didn't get enough views. March 3. I told Erika I didn't want our daughter filmed for brand deals. She said, "This is how ministry pays the bills." I said, "She's not a budget." March 19. She staged a grief walk for her YouTube preview. I was alive, but already gone in her eyes. March 23. Erika said, "I was a distraction to her growth." She calls it God's plan. I call it her exit strategy. Social media users stitched the journal passages with Erika's past Instagram captions. Erika March 24 IG post. Not everyone assigned to your life is anointed to stay. Charlie March 23 journal. She said I'm not part of her path anymore. The dates lined up too perfectly. The heartbreak became undeniable. The blue journal. The plan. Candace then read from the blue journal, the one Charlie called The plan. If she tries to brand me in death, show them this. If she says I supported her content, remind them I begged for our daughter's privacy. I was preparing to file for custody quietly. I didn't want a war. I just wanted peace for my little girl. If Erika cuts off mom and dad, that's how you know she's scared they'll speak. TikTok exploded with reenactments, fan theories, and podcast dissections. One user stitched Erika's quote, "Grief refines you," with Charlie's words, "She profits from pain." Another created a timeline comparing each journal entry to Erika's public posts. It was undeniable his fear mapped to her captions. The flash drive revelation. Just when fans thought they'd heard it all, Candace shared the flash drive's contents. Voice memos between Charlie and a friend discussing Erika's ministry as marketing. A video clip showing Erika rehearsing tears before filming a prayer video. A draft of a legal document for shared custody. Naming Erika Kirk as a secondary guardian. The video shook people. Erika, seen adjusting her hair, says, "Okay, on this one, I'll start crying at the line about losing my rock. Keep the camera close, tears sell." It was cold. It was calculated. And it was final proof for millions. Fans turned completely. Erika's followers, once loyal and empathetic, turned en masse. Charlie was silenced in life. We won't let it happen in death. She posted scripture while planning separation. This isn't widowhood. This is weaponization. Candace ended the episode with a powerful quote. Charlie's voice was silenced online, but God kept the receipts. And now, we're reading them out loud. Erika's empire cracks. As the evidence grew, Erika's platform began to collapse. Bookstores removed her devotionals. Sponsors pulled affiliate deals. Faith-based podcasts deleted her episodes. Churches canceled upcoming appearances. A conservative media outlet reported that Erika's brand lost over $500K in revenue in less than a week. A social media analytics account showed that her follower count was dropping by 30,000 per day. Still, Erika remained silent. No post, no comment, just one cryptic update in her bio. He was called home. I was called to survive. The response? He was called. You answered with a camera. You survived because you planned the performance. Survival isn't the same as integrity. Charlie's cousin, Erika Kirk, also broke his silence, posting a short video. Charlie begged us to protect his daughter. He knew what was coming. He knew the internet would mourn a lie if we didn't speak. So we're speaking. He held up the journals. Behind him, Lorraine wept quietly. She wasn't just our daughter-in-law. She was the gatekeeper to grief. And she slammed the door. The world was still processing the haunting details from Charlie's journals and voicemail when Candace Owens came back swinging this time, with a whole arsenal of deleted Erika Kirk content. What began as whispers of suspicion was now a full-blown unmasking. Candace promised irrefutable evidence of premeditated branding, and she didn't disappoint. Her team had worked with digital archivists, former followers, and even a few ex-staffers of Erika's media brand to retrieve what she called the Erika Files. A collection of lost podcast episodes, staged devotional outlines, and influencer marketing decks. Deleted podcast episodes, solo in spirit, and released from the familiar. The first 2 podcast episodes Candace played were taken from Erika's former series Refined Through Fire. These episodes had mysteriously disappeared from Spotify and Apple Podcasts within days of Charlie's vanishing. Episode 12. Solo in Spirit. Erika said, "Sometimes the Lord removes people not because they're bad, but because their chapter in your story has ended. It's okay to walk alone if they're clouding your calling." The tone was oddly unemotional. What unsettled listeners most was the timing. It had been recorded while Charlie was still alive and living in the house. Episode 14. Released from the familiar. Erika's words were eerily prescient. There's a peace in letting go of what no longer sharpens you, even if they share your roof. Even if they once held your hand at the altar. Fans were stunned. Many interpreted this as Erika soft-launching her widow identity before the fact. Candace played these clips next to quotes from Charlie's red journal. She doesn't see me as her partner anymore. She sees me as a shadow to her spotlight. The contrast between Erika's poised delivery and Charlie's desperate honesty ignited a firestorm. The grief playbook. Exposed. Then came the true bombshell. A leaked internal document, codenamed Operation Resilience, a PR crisis playbook prepared by Erika's team 3 weeks before Charlie's disappearance. The 18-slide deck detailed a step-by-step plan for managing public sympathy in the event of a sudden personal tragedy. Sections included Color palette for grief posts: cream, dust rose, soft gray. Captions to use: grieving but grounded in God. Heaven gained, I remain. Our daughter will know strength through sorrow. Posting schedule: Day 1, candle photo. Minimal caption. Day 3, silent prayer video. Day 5, reels of child with scripture overlay. Week 2, devotional teaser. Week 4, purpose in the pain, course launch. The document even included a pre-drafted caption: when I became a widow, I didn't break, I blossomed. Because faith holds where flesh fails. Candace's reaction? She was writing her eulogy caption before she picked out a casket. The internet erupted. Number grief marketing. Number planned pain. Number she rehearsed it. Number branding loss. Number Charlie deserved truth. Memes spread rapidly. One viral image showed Erika holding a Bible in one hand and a content calendar in the other, with the caption, "Devotion meets distribution. The widowed warrior trademark filing." But perhaps the most damning piece yet was a real-time screenshot from the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, submitted under Erika's business entity, Faith Forward Media, LLC. Filed weeks before Charlie went missing, the trademark request was for Widowed Warrior, for use in books, apparel, podcasts, and live events. Attached were a mock-up for a devotional titled Widowed Warrior, Finding Strength When God Takes Everything. T-shirt designs with phrases like, "She walked alone," and "Grief is my weapon." A proposal for a yearly Widowed Warrior weekend retreat. Commenters were horrified. She trademarked widowhood before she was a widow. This wasn't a tragedy. This was a launch plan. Charlie didn't just die. He was phased out of her brand. Influencers began pulling out of partnerships. Faith-based brands issued apologies. Churches canceled Erika's scheduled speaking engagements. Her management team reportedly dissolved within 72 hours of the trademark leak. Even her closest collaborators were distancing themselves. One former editor tweeted, "I thought we were building ministry. Turns out, we were building merchandise." Insider speaks out. Then, a former staff member of Erika's podcast network went public. In a masked interview on Candace's show, the employee calling themselves M explained, "Erika tested grief content performance 6 months ago using mock scenarios. We'd do dry runs. One was called Faith After Loss, but Charlie was alive and well. I thought it was weird. Now it's chilling." They also shared, she was obsessed with control. Control of the story, the image, the child. Everything had to be beautiful. Even heartbreak. Candace looked straight at the camera. She rehearsed widowhood while he was in the other room. The public revolts. Public outrage reached a boiling point. TikTokers called for Erika's social accounts to be deplatformed. YouTubers created hour-long documentaries exposing every layer of the scandal. Reddit threads charted a minute-by-minute timeline of Erika's staged sorrow, mapping Charlie's journals to her posts. Even popular preachers and Christian influencers condemned her publicly. At Faith with Francesca, "I weep for the child in this, not Erika." At True Grace Podcast, "Jesus wept," Erika posted. At Church in Real Life, "This isn't mourning, it's monetization." Erika finally broke her silence, not with a video but with a simple Instagram story. "You only see what you're shown. I have nothing left to prove." The backlash? Immediate. "We're not asking for proof. We're asking for truth. Charlie showed us everything, and you deleted it." This isn't silence. This is strategy. Her followers dwindled. Sponsorships vanished. And still, Candace promised one final episode that would reveal Erika's greatest cover-up yet. After the torrent of backlash from leaked podcasts, exposed marketing decks, and Candace Owens bombshells, Erika Kirk finally did what many suspected she'd do from the beginning. She lawyered up. No more cryptic Bible verses. No more teary devotionals. This time, Erika's message came through an official press release from her legal team. "Our client, Mrs. Erika Kirk, categorically denies the defamatory accusations being spread through coordinated attacks on her character. She reserves the right to pursue legal action against all parties engaged in libel, slander, and breach of contract." The press release didn't mention Charlie. Not once. Not his death. Not the journals. Not his grieving parents. Just a list of threatened lawsuits and reputational harm. Fans and critics alike were stunned. She's not defending her husband. She's defending her brand. All this, and still no statement for Charlie's parents? Erika just went full villain. Candace doesn't flinch. If Erika thought a legal threat would silence Candace Owens, she miscalculated. In response, Candace live-streamed for over 2 hours, reading an internal memo from one of Erika's former legal advisors, a whistleblower, who could no longer stay silent. The memo described Erika's intent to control the release of all memorial materials, pre-approve statements from friends and pastors, legally prevent Charlie's parents from making public comments, secure brand protection of Faith After Fire and Widowed Warrior within 14 days of his passing. She wasn't grieving, Candace said. She was gatekeeping the narrative, and now she's weaponizing the law to keep it intact. Then came the custody files. But Candace had been saving her heaviest blow. In what she called the hardest truth of all, she revealed a set of preliminary custody documents drafted by Charlie himself just weeks before his disappearance. Filed under the initials C, J, K, the document requested sole legal custody of his daughter, revocation of Erika's power to make media-related decisions about their child, emergency oversight privileges granted to Lorraine and David Kirk. The reason listed? Chronic emotional manipulation and documented plans to use child in monetized content for spiritual branding purposes. It was signed, notarized, and dated 27 days before Charlie's last confirmed appearance. The internet erupted. He tried to save his daughter before saving himself. This wasn't a custody battle. It was a rescue mission. The fact that Erika hid this speaks volumes. Fans created new hashtags. Number Charlie tried. Number custody before the casket. Number he protected her. Number Erika hid it. Erika's PR implodes. Meanwhile, Erika's PR agency GracePoint Strategies cut ties. Their statement read, "Our agency stands for integrity and restorative faith." As new evidence emerges regarding the misrepresentation of private grief for commercial benefit, we have severed all ties with Mrs. Kirk and Faith Forward Media. Sponsors followed. Podcast platforms removed her episodes. Even her publisher halted shipment of her latest devotional, Heaven Weeps, But I Don't Break. A coalition of parenting advocates called for Erika to be investigated for digital child exploitation, citing her monetized content featuring her daughter post Charlie's death. One petition gained over 5 million signatures in 3 days. Protect Erika's child from weaponized branding and remove her from online platforms until a full legal review is completed. Secret group chats leak. Then it got worse. Screenshots leaked from a private group chat among Erika's closest faith influencer circle, nicknamed Daughters of the Calling. One message from Erika read, "When this blows over, we'll rebuild. Pain is a platform. Grief sells if you sell it gently." Another influencer asked, "Should we post support stories?" Erika replied, "Not yet. Let the villain arc play out. Come in with redemption later. It converts better." Fans couldn't believe it. She's not just playing the long game. She's playing us. Redemption arc? This isn't a show. This was her husband's life. She used her daughter as a content hook. Then Candace dropped the inheritance bomb. Candace revealed a previously unseen clause in Charlie's updated will, which Erika allegedly never submitted to court. In this new document, Charlie removed Erika as the primary trustee of his life insurance fund, transferred control to a joint panel made up of his parents and an independent accountant, included a letter explaining his reason. "This is not about punishment. This is about protection," he wrote. "I believe Erika no longer sees our daughter as a child but as a calling. She doesn't need calling. She needs a childhood." The court had never seen the letter. The will had been kept from probate. Fans were furious. She buried the will and the truth. That's fraud. That's manipulation. Candace should testify. Let's get this in court. Erika breaks her silence. Finally, Erika posted a 7-minute video titled, My Truth. Set to soft piano music, she sat in a white robe, reading from prepared notes. She didn't mention Charlie's name once. She didn't apologize. She didn't deny the trademarks. She didn't acknowledge the journals, the leaked chats, or the inheritance. She simply ended the video saying, "You weren't there. You don't know what I've carried." The backlash? Brutal. You carried cameras, captions, and campaigns. Charlie was there. His parents were there. You kicked them out. You turned silence into a spotlight. By now, Erika Kirk's empire was in free fall. Her follower count had plummeted. Devotionals were yanked from shelves. Faith-based brands had issued apologies for their past endorsements. And Candace Owens? She wasn't done. The latest episode of The Real Truth with Candace Owens opened with a blunt message. You've seen Erika's staged sorrow. You've heard Charlie's cry for help. Now it's time to see what Erika never wanted anyone to see. And with that, Candace dropped a leaked behind-the-scenes video of Erika's private faith reflection shoot footage that had fans gasping, crying, and, for some, finally turning away for good. Leaked video. Do the tears again, this time slower. The footage opens in a softly lit room, camera set, mic clipped, candles arranged. Erika, dressed in a flowy white robe, holds a photo of Charlie. Off-screen, a voice says, "Okay, so after you say, 'He was my rock,' pause, let the tear fall, then look away like you're holding back more." Erika nods, blinks a few times to well up, then begins her monologue. Halfway through, she stops. "Wait, the tear didn't fall. Let me reset." She dabs her eyes, shakes her shoulders, and starts again. "He was my rock." Candace freezes the footage. You're watching the grief be performed, the mourning be marketed. This wasn't a moment, it was a scene. The public was shaken. This isn't just influencer culture. This is emotional fraud. She practiced pain like a monologue. Charlie's journals warned us. We didn't listen. Number staged grief. Number retake the tears. Number hair rock was revenue. Number Charlie deserved truth. Redditors compiled a list of all the scenes Erika had allegedly reshot based on lighting, camera angles, and makeup continuity. TikTokers did side-by-side breakdowns. It was as if the internet had turned into a forensic lab and Erika was the case file. The offshore revelation. But Candace wasn't done. In a shocking new development, she revealed that Erika Kirk had allegedly funneled over $600,000 in donation money from her Faith After Fire ministry into an offshore account in the Cayman Islands. The documents, submitted by a former accountant turned whistleblower, outlined wire transfers from affiliate income tied to grief-themed content, book pre-sales of When God Breaks Your Heart But Grows Your Brand, exclusive membership donations from her private women's network. The money trail, according to Candace, began 3 days after Charlie's death. How do you mourn your husband on Monday and move $600K on Thursday? This isn't divine destiny. This is spiritual embezzlement. Church leaders across the country called for a formal audit. Several attorneys began building a class action suit. Religious TikTokers posted videos praying for Charlie's daughter, who had now become a central figure in this storm. One preacher said, "Erika didn't lose her husband, she leveraged him." Then the daughter spoke. No one expected this part. A quiet, devastating moment. Lorraine and David Kirk posted a short, unedited video of Charlie's daughter sitting in the backyard, playing with her toys. Off camera, Lorraine asks gently, "Sweetheart, what did Mommy say about Grandpa and Grandma?" The little girl doesn't pause. "Mommy said not to hug you because you were mad at God." The internet froze. She's already planting division. Erika weaponized faith against her own child. Even in grief, she couldn't allow love. The video went viral, tens of millions of views in less than 48 hours. Major networks picked it up. Child psychologists weighed in, warning about religious gaslighting and the trauma of cutting children off from safe attachments. Legal action escalates. The Kirk family's attorneys responded with force. A formal petition for emergency custody was filed. A restraining order was requested to bar Erika from posting any more content featuring her daughter. And most significantly, subpoenas were issued to multiple social media platforms, demanding all archived footage and analytics associated with Charlie's daughter. The goal? To determine how much money had been made off her image, and how many decisions had been made against Charlie's wishes. Candace, meanwhile, started a GoFundMe for Charlie's daughter. It raised $2 million in 3 days, with donations pouring in from fans, churches, celebrities, and even former critics of Candace. The campaign's tagline? Let her grow up without cameras. Erika's final collapse. With legal action mounting, brand deals gone, and her child's voice breaking hearts worldwide, Erika finally deactivated all her social media accounts. Her website vanished, her email list returned error messages, and her podcast? Wiped from every platform. It wasn't a rebrand, it was a retreat, but not before one final twist: the letter from Charlie's lawyer. In a late-night live stream, Candace unveiled one last piece of evidence, a letter Charlie had drafted with his lawyer, dated exactly 1 month before his disappearance. The letter included a posthumous instruction: if anything happens to me, please ensure my journals, voicemails, and daughter's emotional guardianship go to my parents. Erika does not represent my wishes, she represents my fears. Candace read the line twice, then closed the letter slowly. He knew what she was. He tried to stop it, and now we must finish what he couldn't. As the scandal reached a fever pitch, Erika Kirk, silent for weeks, emerged from digital exile. No stylized captions, no piano music, no white robes, just Erika, seated in what looked like her living room, in front of a single ring light. The live stream was titled, "I Just Want to Speak for Myself." Thousands joined. But this wasn't the redemptive comeback she hoped for, it was the final unraveling. Erika's redemption livestream. "Hey guys," she began, voice trembling. "I know a lot has been said about me, some true, some twisted beyond belief. But I'm not perfect. I was grieving. I did what I could to survive." She talked about isolation, about media pressure, about raising a child alone. But she never mentioned Charlie's journals, never denied the trademarks, never acknowledged the offshore account. And most telling of all, she never once said the words, "I'm sorry." Then came the moment that shut everything down. "I never meant to exploit my husband. I just wanted to honor him the best way I knew how, by showing others how to walk through grief, even if that grief was sometimes curated." The comments exploded. She said curated grief. That's all we needed to hear. This wasn't a confession. This was a trailer for her next brand. Charlie asked for protection. She gave him production. Courtroom Judgment Day. The following week, the Kirk family finally had their day in court. The hearing was closed to media, but documents were leaked within hours. The court ruled in favor of Lorraine and David Kirk, granting them temporary full custody of Charlie's daughter, pending further investigation. The ruling cited pattern of emotional exploitation, financial abuse involving a minor, suppression of legal documents critical to inheritance claims. But the most damning line came from the judge. The deceased made every effort in life to protect his daughter from becoming a commodity. It is the responsibility of this court to honor that request in death. Cheers broke out online. Fans reposted clips of Charlie reading bedtime stories from years past. Lorraine released a photo of Charlie's daughter painting her father's portrait. Even major Christian influencers who once partnered with Erika now posted messages of apology and support for the Kirk family. Number Charlie protected her. Number legacy restored. Number the truth won. Number Erika silenced by justice. The funeral they never got her. Candace Owens hosted a special live stream titled, "The Service Charlie Deserved." Not a dramatized spectacle. Just a quiet gathering of voices, friends, pastors, family members who'd been silenced during Erika's brand campaign. Lorraine spoke softly. He didn't need hashtags. He needed hugs. He didn't ask for sermons. He asked for silence. And now, we'll finally give it to him. A video montage played of Charlie smiling, laughing, reading his Bible, walking through fields with his daughter. There were no filters, no overlays. Just moments, authentic and raw. For many fans, it was the true closure they had been denied. Erika's final statement. 1 week later, Erika released a pre-recorded statement through her lawyer. She announced that she would be stepping away indefinitely from social media, ministry work, and all monetized platforms involving faith-based content. She acknowledged mistakes in judgment, but still refused to admit to any exploitation. "I never claimed to be a perfect widow. I only ever claimed to be a faithful one." The world's response? "Faith without accountability is fiction. Your silence said more than your sermons. You used faith as a filter. We wanted the truth." Where the money went? Candace revealed that, following the court ruling, Erika was required to surrender all profits made from content, merchandise, and speaking engagements tied to Charlie's death. Over $1.2 million was placed into a trust for Charlie's daughter, managed jointly by a child psychologist, a probate attorney, the Kirk family pastor. Candace said, "We cannot undo what Erika posted, but we can make sure that money now builds her daughter a future, instead of branding her past." Family. Reunited. David Kirk posted a heartfelt video of him and Charlie's daughter planting flowers in their backyard. She asked if heaven has colors. "I told her yes. And she said, 'Then Daddy's still painting.'" That single clip reached over 15 million views because it was real. No cameras, no captions, no merchandise links. Just a grandpa and a little girl, finally at peace. Charlie's final words go viral. As a final tribute, Lorraine published an excerpt from one of Charlie's blue journal entries. "If my daughter ever grows up wondering what mattered most, tell her it wasn't the followers, it wasn't the likes, it wasn't the devotions, the platforms, or the applause. It was love. It was stillness. It was home." Across social media, millions reposted the words. Number it was love. Number it was stillness. Number it was home. Number rest in truth, Charlie. This wasn't just a story, it was a reckoning. A reminder that grief can be sacred, or it can be sold. That silence can be healing, or it can be used to hide. And Charlie Kirk? He didn't want fame in death. He wanted his daughter to be safe, to be free from the filter, free from a legacy rewritten in captions and candlelight. Thanks to Candace Owens, the world heard his voice even if it came too late. If this story moved you, exposed truths you didn't expect, or made you question what we're consuming online, don't scroll away. Hit that like button, subscribe to MixIT, and turn on notifications. We bring you the truth behind the timeline, every time. And tell us in the comments, do you think Erika Kirk should ever be allowed back on any public platform? Number Charlie deserved peace. Number MixIT. Number Erika Kirk. Number Candace Owens. Number justice for the Kirks. Number faith or fiction.